All right, Hobby Essentials, episode number 3. All right, so I just received these. These are the 3S 400 milliamp hour 25C LIPOs for the brushless 500 millimeter wingspan Warbirds. So I had a couple of really tiny 3S 180 milliamp hour 3S LIPOs that I bonded together basically to make a single 3S 360 milliamp hour LiPo, just so I could test the plane out. The Eachine F4U Corsair, the brushless 500 millimeter wingspan Warbird, just so I could test it out on 3S, and it is phenomenal on 3S. You guys are going to want some of these LiPos for your brushless 500 millimeter wingspan Warbirds. Links will be in the show notes. The link that is provided in the show notes will it provides a link to both the 2S and the 3S LiPos of this type. Okay, 2S are basically the ones that came with the plane, and then the 3S ones are for the higher performance flight. All right, so they're Pulse 2S 400 milliamp hour 25C LiPo. It weighs 21.5 grams. The dimensions are 40 millimeters by 20 millimeters by 15 millimeters. The Pulse 3S 400 milliamp hour 25C LiPos weigh 31.8 grams. Dimensions are 42 millimeters by 20 millimeters by 23 millimeters. I test fit one of them in the plane horizontally, and laying it in there horizontally worked fine. Plenty of room to connect the wires to close the hatch. There's no worries there. And because it's heavier, considerably heavier than the 2S, I won't have to use any nose ballast weight on the F4U Corsair when I'm flying it with 3S. And now that I've got 3S LiPos, I'm going to be flying it on 3S most of the time. So if you haven't watched one of those flights yet, take a look at it. Next up is the HobbyWing Skywalker 15 amp version 2 ESC. It's a 5 volt 2 amp BEC. It's a linear BEC it comes with 2 millimeter bullets pre-installed. They did include the heat shrink, so you can attach whatever type of battery connector that you want to connect to it. All right, so it's rated for 2S to 3S. The weight is 10 grams. Dimensions are 38 millimeter by 17 millimeter by 5 millimeter, and the version 2 has reverse thrust function. I've never used an ESC that have that function, so I'll have to see if there's a plane that I can actually test that in. I don't know, but it comes with a manual too. I mean, a lot of ESCs today do not come with a manual, right? And just about everything that I've wanted to configure on one of these, I've been able to do with the transmitter. I do have, one of those little ESC configurators for the HobbyWing ESCs, and that works really well too. But the Skywalker, the HobbyWing ESCs have been my go-to ESCs for the past 3 or 4 years. Links to it will be in the show notes. All right, I went through my list of aircraft and my airframes, and I still have quite a few airframes that I do not have gyros in. All right, when I started in RC, I never had a gyro. Never had a gyro in one until I lost a couple of aircraft flying them into that big ball of fire in the sky. I'm out there flying. I forget sometimes where that big ball of fire is. Flew it right into the sun. I could hear it, couldn't see it, so I nosed a couple of them in that way. So I decided I would like to have a gyro in all of my airframes, so if I ever do that silly thing again, I can at least flip it into stabilization mode, so I know it's not going to be nosing down into the ground before I have a time to spot it again. So I am trying to put a gyro in all of my aircraft for that parachute button, and also so when it's fairly breezy and gusty most of the time when I go out and fly. So the gyro mode on these, which is just wind mitigation, is also very helpful. I love the fact that it has fully stabilized mode, it has just wind mitigation mode, and it has full manual mode. So Those are the three modes that I really like to have in a flight controller or a gyro. All right, so there's 4 channels. It has 6 modes altogether, including vertical modes. It weighs 4.5 grams, and I think that's including the wire. The dimensions are 35.5 millimeter by 15.5 millimeter by 10.5 millimeter, and it's plug and play. There's no configuration to it at all, other than the little phase button on the front if you need to change the direction in which it's correcting the control surface. So easy peasy, man. It's just plug and play. That's one of the things I really like about it. I've never had a problem with any of my Byme-A gyros. Okay. All right, links to it will be in the show notes. All right, Byme-D gyro. I use these. These are Elevon mixing only. Okay, so it's a 3-channel, 3-mode, fully stabilized, wind mitigation, and full manual mode. And these are the version 1s. And it weighs 4.5 grams. The dimensions are the same, 35.5 millimeter by 15.5 millimeter by 10.5 millimeter, and it's also plug and play. You are required to use an SBACH or PPM receiver, as it states right here. Okay, so DSM. Last time I checked, DSM receivers do not work with these gyros. All right, it doesn't handle DSM, but SBACH PPM work great. I've used a lot of different receivers with these gyros, and all the ones that I've used have worked great. Okay, links to it will be in the show notes. The Byme-DB. Okay, so this is the most recent one they came out with, and one of the things I like about it is this is Elevon only mixing too, but this one also has a rudder channel. But it uses these micro connectors, and all the ones that I just purchased came with a full set of adapters. So you got it. It goes from the micro connector to a standard JR servo connector for standard servos, which is great. It does take up a little more room having to use the adapter, so be aware of that. But it's 4-channel, 3 modes. It's just like the Byme-D, except that it has the additional rudder, and you have to use these adapters if you're not using servos with micro connectors on them, which I typically don't. Weighs 3 grams. The dimensions are 32.5 millimeter, which includes the pins back here on the back for the receiver, 25.1 millimeter by 10 millimeter, and it is plug and play. All of them have a phase button on them if you need to change the direction, and all of them, I believe, including this one, can be installed upside down if you need to. I have this one in a park jet right now, one of these in the park jet that I have installed upside down. Make sure that if you change the orientation, you know, whether it's right side up or upside down, you need to calibrate the gyro so it knows the orientation. All right, links to it be in the show notes. And I think this is the last item up for bid today. These are HQProps, 3-inch diameter by 4-inch pitch, 3-blade, have 5 millimeter hubs, and they're polycarbonate props. And I really prefer the polycarbonate props. I think they look really nice. They got that semi-transparent. They're very slick, which means less friction when they're spinning, you know, on your motor through the air. I think it will produce less friction that way. Okay, so, and like I was saying, this is my order, so you can see how many of these. So the HobbyWing Skywalker 15 amp B2 ESCs, in the link you'll see that you can order one, you can order a single one, or you can order a 4-pack. Now, I use a lot of these micro ESCs. Okay, so I do a lot of conversions, modifications, DIY projects. So I ordered a 4-pack because they're cheaper per unit if you order 4 rather than 1, and I'm sure I'm going to use them. I ordered, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Byme-DB gyros. I ordered, I think, 7, can't see them all here, but I ordered 7 of the Byme-A gyros, and I ordered 2 of the Byme-D gyros. And then I ordered, let me see, those props. Let me go back and look at those props. Yeah, the props come in a 16-pack. Okay, so it's like 4-pack of 4 props, or 4-pack of 2 pairs of props, and they come in mixed colors. They come in black, green, red, and purple. So I have a 4-pack of 4 props. So just like here, you see, there's 2 pairs per bag, 4 different bags with different colored props. Okay, so that's everything that I received on my last hobby order. So I want to let you guys know what I buy and use myself. So you know I'm not just trying to sell you something. These are the products that I buy and use myself, which is why I recommend them, because I think they're really good products at a really good price, which makes them a really good value. All right, links to everything are in the show notes. That's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Tinker's Lab.